tip number 1 is optimizing your listing for higher visibility. And we all know that we should focus on having an optimized listing by making sure that we have keywords in our descriptions, make sure that when your listing is set up that it's easy to read, right? Something that's going to have bullet points so that the viewer immediately can see what they're looking for, like the amenities, etc. I'm specifically referring to your pictures. Again, we all know that we should have professional pictures, but how should those pictures be presented? And that's what I mean by optimizing your listing for higher visibility, because here's what my recommendation is. Most people don't create an experience with their pictures. If you're taking a picture, for example, if you have a pool, if you have an outdoor kitchen, you have a beautiful living room, if you have a nice dining table, whatever you have, you should put people in that picture and you should create an experience with that picture so that the viewer can see it, immediately recognize what the experience you're trying to portray is, and then put themselves in that position. Having smart home technology, it's not a necessity for success, but it's a necessity if you want to provide that unforgettable experience. People want smart locks. People want smart TVs. People want the ability to use technology in today's vacation rental. For example, having a voice activated like Alexa or Siri available to your guests is going to really elevate that guest experience. Converting your home with smart devices is a very smart way to go. Self check-ins. I don't understand why people do not have self check-ins. Today, you need to have that. It's very important that you have self check-in if it's possible. And I say that because we manage 2 hotels, and obviously the hotel has a front desk, so we're not going to have a self-check-in mechanism because they have to check in with the front desk. But if you have a single family home, if you have an apartment, there's absolutely no reason why not to have self-check-ins. And people actually search for self-check-ins, so you should have that in your listing. That should be 100%. Doesn't mean that you can't still meet your guests after they check in, but having that checked off is going to greatly increase your visibility and or your bookings. The next thing is going to be the clean. People have said this 1,000 times. It's a must that you provide a clean listing or a clean property to your guests. You don't have to go overboard. And on top of that, what's going to separate between a 5-star and a 4-star, or between good and great, is, and it's related to the cleaning, is not just having a clean property, but having a well-organized unit. And within that organization, here's what I mean by that. Are you providing, or are your towels folded in a nice manner? Are they organized in a specific location? Is your bed made with angles? What I refer to as, are you setting up your bed just like a Marriott would be, right? In your kitchen, are your cups, your silverware, your plates, are they organized and labeled and easy to find? Those things are part of the cleaning and can separate your property between something that's good and something that's great. And obviously, if the place isn't clean, it's bad. The next is, and this is the one that I think it's very big, is keeping an eye on data. Data is your best friend in this business. And there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't obtain and study data, because data is everywhere now. You can get data in the short-term rental game. There's so many companies that will provide you the necessary data that you need to make educated decisions. But if you are an operator, and you've been operating for a while, for example, I'm going to use myself for example. Our PMS system gives me plenty of data that I can study on a regular basis to make educated decisions as to how to go forward with my company, with my properties, and using data, looking for trends so that I can figure out who to market to. Data is your best friend. Today, there's no reason why you shouldn't be using it, and I'm going to give you some companies that you can use. AirDNA, PriceLab, Key Data are my 3 go-tos, but there's others, and I think MarketMinder's another one that you can use to obtain the necessary data so that you can make educated decisions. And next for me is a big one, and that is outdoor activities or outdoor space. Doesn't mean that you have to have a pool. A lot of people think you need to have a pool, jacuzzi to provide a memorable experience, or for you to have the ability to increase your daily rates. I'm telling you right now, that is not the case. But you definitely need to have an outdoor space space that's functional and usable. Here's what I mean by that. I'm a big fan of creating functional, workable, entertaining areas outside of the house. So in your backyard, I would highly recommend that if you don't have a pool, you don't have a jacuzzi, that you create a nice outdoor kitchen, a gazebo, nice outdoor furniture, something outside of the home that people can go outside and entertain. And I won't go a lot or in depth into this, but if you can provide that, then you don't necessarily need to provide or have a big indoor space. I hope that kind of makes sense, but taking advantage of your outdoors is going to be a home run, and it's going to provide you a higher ROI on your investment if you do that. Optimize your property for longer stays. If you are not doing that already, you should. And be prepared or set up your properties so that people can come and book your property for longer stays. In the past, I wasn't a big fan of long stays, but I am today, and it's much needed today. So, but you need to make sure that your property is set up for that, because many of you, if you're like me anyways, if you're like me, my properties initially were not set up for very long stays. They were only set up for, the average 3-4 night stays, week stays, at best maybe 3 weeks, but I never had my property set up for 30 days or more. Make sure your property's set up for that. And the biggest thing with longer stays is making sure that your kitchen is properly supplied for people that are going to stay there, because if they're going to stay or they're going to have a long stay, they're going to cook and they need the tools to do so. So make sure that's set up. The rain is coming, my beautiful people, but that was the end. If you got value of this, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want to donate, buy me a coffee. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.